Well, hello. This is Vonti of Awesome Connect to Soul, and this is your weekly discourse of empowerment and soul wisdom for the week of the 25th. Really, it was meant to be on the 25th, and for some of you, when you're listening, it might be still, but here in Australia, it actually was yesterday. So I do apologize. We are a little bit later than usual to upload this particular video. But hey, Christmas, Australia is the first one on the calendar apparently. So we go through all these things first. And so there was a slight delay because I was spending Christmas with my family and friends and feeling very, very blessed. And wherever you are in the world, it's an interesting time, Christmas, I believe, because yes, many of us do, or many people do, use it as a religious festival, which I personally don't, because I am completely a-religious. I don't have any affiliation to religion. I have affiliation to humanity and love and kindness, and that has no boundaries and no limits. And so, but what I do love about the idea of Christmas as a festival is that it is a time to connect with loved ones. The gift, the idea of giving gifts and receiving gifts, I think those are all very important in life itself. Learning to give and learning to receive. Wow, what do you think about that? How difficult is it for so many of us to learn to receive? So, for me, that is a very important time to share with loved ones. Now, it can be a really difficult time for people who have just lost loved ones this past year, and I certainly have been, we've lost some dear friends, and they're difficult times because it's this separation anxiety and grieving that we're still going through. And for some people, it's a very lonely time because it's a time when it becomes really obvious if you do not have, a whole pack, as I call it, of loved ones around you. So it can be a wonderfully joyous time and it can be a sad and lonely time. But whatever the time is, it's always a time of reflection and contemplation, I believe. And for those of us who understand the essence of this festival, and that is love and joy and celebration of life itself, irrespective of what religion you belong to, we are all part of the same humanity, and therefore those kind of qualities are essential for our survival and our fulfillment. And therefore, I just want to spend a little bit of time talking about continuing, the essence of the festival of Christmas, and that is the essence of love and sharing and celebrating life itself, and celebrating oneself and celebrating the children and celebrating our friends and our loved ones, and just being grateful for the fact that we have life itself. And life is a beautiful thing. It saddens me sometimes when I think about that people have to get to a stage of thinking that they're going to die before they learn to appreciate living. So, in this discourse today, I would like to encourage you, no matter what religion, creed, whether you are surrounded by, a cast of hundreds, or whether you are feeling that you are on your own, which, by the way, you never are, because there are unseen forces that are always there supporting you and loving you if you connect with them. However, whether you believe that or not is a bit irrelevant. What I really want to talk about today is to make a choice, to make the essence of Christmas, which is loving humanity, loving yourself, because after all you're human, and loving our human species, and understanding that each and every human being on this earth has the same needs and is asking for the same things all the time. We need to be loved, we need to be acknowledged, we need to feel we belong. And sometimes I think, when you are by yourself, I live by myself, and because my children have all grown, but I'm very seldom. Oh, I don't live by myself. I have two beautiful cats. As those of you who know me and have followed me on Facebook know that I do have two beautiful Burmese cats. But as a single human being, there could be an opportunity for me to feel alone or lonely, which I never do. I'm surrounded by people, and one of the things that I have learned about being, a single entity in a home or wherever you are, is that if you want to belong or if you want to have people in your life, you need to reach out. You need to reach out and you need to invite them in to your life. And if you're not doing that, then you're missing out, because there are many people out there who would love to be invited in. I'm very fortunate, and I have a lot of good friends and family, and we gather together. So Christmas is such an amazing time to reflect on the year just gone by, because now we have only a few days before we head for 2018, and to really look at what has the past years taught us. What have we experienced? How have we tackled the difficult moments, and how have we perhaps collapsed at times? How have we grown? How much have we reached out to others? And how much have we come from us? How much closer to ourselves have we become? Because at the end of the day, there is only you. We come by ourselves. We rather leave alone. So how much of that time have you honored yourself and loved yourself and reflected on yourself? Because that's very important, because from in here, everything grows. So this discourse is a little bit reflective, and I would really like to, and you might realize that I haven't used any of the prosperity cards today, and I will not. I just wanted to have a bit of a chat, and we will have some soul wisdom, although this is all soul wisdom. But I just felt that today had to be about looking behind us for a brief moment to celebrate the fact that we are here, and whatever experience is behind us, we have survived, or we have grown from it, or we have expanded from it. Or if we have not, then to make the decision that whatever comes next, that is exactly how we're going to use every experience from now on. So we have a few days now and if I have been amiss in the beginning of this discourse and not wished you all an amazing Merry Christmas, for those of you who are still there and still having Christmas. And look, I hope you all had a wonderful, wonderful Christmas, and that you appreciated all the wonderful gifts, the gift giving, the gift receiving, and that if you ate a lot, which seems to go with Christmas, I don't know when that actually became something, but food, masses of food, that you celebrated the food that you received and that you partook in, and that you celebrated if you had your family around it, that you celebrated all of that. So it is a time of celebration. And now we are coming to, what I always call the anticlimax, when you kind of fall apart and go, oh my God, I'm exhausted now. We have a few days before we celebrate the end of the year and then the beginning of the new year. So it's an interesting time of reflection. I always think that this is the time that we look at our lives and we go, okay, so what would we like next? Because after all, I know from my experiences of having been on this journey of spirituality that my life is my own making, according to the mindset that I allow to instruct me. And I either like it or I don't like it. And if I don't like it, then I have the power within me to make some different choices. So if anything in 2017 was the way that I didn't like how I responded to it, then it's time for me to reflect on that and go, you know what, I choose to respond differently so that I get a different experience. And it is a time to celebrate the things that we did well, the achievements that we set in motion that we achieved. It is a time to consider what we would like to receive and what we would like to experience and what we would like to achieve in 2018. It's one of the reasons that on the 1st of January I run a workshop in Victoria, Australia, and we spent an afternoon creating an achievement plan, which I have been doing for the last 30 years. I have for myself and certainly introduced to all the people that have worked with me. But only in the last 6 years have I actually run a workshop on the 1st of January. And it is lots of fun. And it's lovely to share with others. And so we do a meditation. But if you're not able to come, then I do suggest you take some time on the 1st of January and you do a meditation and you just sit there quietly and ask, what does this life force want to achieve in 2018? We cover, the physical aspect of ourselves, the emotional, the mental, and the spiritual aspect of ourselves. Goal setting itself is so very much focused on the physical life. But, we're a whole person. And if we get too attached to the physical, we miss the emotional and we miss the mental, the mind, and we miss the spiritual. And when we learn to consider all four of those aspects of us as a human being, not a human doing, then we have a much better picture of having a balanced life. So that is actually what we do on the 1st of January on this workshop. And we also spend some time creating a vision board. So it's a lot of fun. So if you're in the area and you would like to participate and you haven't as yet contacted me, I will leave a link for you below. But if not, please do it for yourself. Sit down on the 1st of January. Now, why is it important on the 1st of January? Because I have mentioned before, I will surf the energy wave. The 31st of December, it's like everybody goes, I want to get rid of that year. Well, I never feel that way. I always feel that I treasure that day to look at how precious the year that I've just had has been and how wonderful it's been. And then on the 1st of January, even people with a hangover, they feel this is a whole clean slate and they can go again. So the wave comes of energy. Humanity seems to think, yes, I can start afresh. So you use that energy, to surf the wave. And so that's the day that you put in place what you would like to achieve in 2018. But the wonderful thing about how I use the achievement plan is that make it flexible, because what you think on the 1st of January you would like to achieve, by about the 30th of January, some other things might have cropped up that you would love to add to it, or some of the things that you thought you wanted to achieve have already happened, or you suddenly think, why on earth did I want to do that? That's okay. That's not a failure. That just means growth. And you go, oh, no, don't really want to do that anymore. I think there's something more important I'd like to achieve. So it is a constantly evolving plan. It's not something that you say, I want to, make $1 million by July. And then if you don't do it, you feel like you're a failure. And that happens so often with goal setting. So when you stay flexible and you just say, look, right now from where I'm sitting right now, which is fairly limited view because I'm doing it through my mindset, I think these are the things I'd like to achieve. But as I grow every day, because I'm working on this, on me, I might want to achieve something else, and that's fine. It shows I'm moving forward and there's no failure involved. Okay, so please be kind about that with yourself. Okay. And so then, that 1st of January is important for us to set the scene for what comes in the year ahead. Now, when you think about that, what I said to you before about my life is of my own making, it is because we actually make our lives through the choices and that we make. And the choices that we make comes from the mindset we have at the time of making them. And so why has spirituality become such an important part of my life? And why is it my life? And has it become my lifestyle? Because spirituality actually means that you become an active intelligence, making conscious choices along the way. It is a way of living without reaction, but living with response. In other words, you choose, you make your choices, you know that they're going to have consequences, and whatever is going on in life, you have the power to respond to it in a way that keeps you in balance. You have the choice of making your mindset whatever you want, and whatever you want is usually to feel balanced, to feel peaceful, and to feel loving. So any choice that you're standing in front of that's going to make it not peaceful and not caring and not loving, you just don't make it. It's really that simple. But if you react, you've made it before you've thought about it. So stop the reactionary doing person, and in 2018, become the responsive person. It means that you slow everything down a little and you think before you do, and you feel before you do, because whatever choice you make, filter it through this beautiful instrument that we live in. It will tell you, does it feel good? Do your cells feel like they're expanding when you think of that? Or do your cells feel like they're contracting? Well, you know which choice to make, right? I don't have to explain that to you. If you take control of your mind consciously, you would always choose to spend your life in love and joy, wouldn't you? But because we allow ourselves to become slaves to our chatterbox in here and give more power to the outside influences of other people, of approval, of, always asking someone else to give advice about our life as if they would know anyway, we take ourselves to a life of struggle and misery and, sadly, unfulfillment so often. We've been led to believe that life is what's happening outside, all around us, that, this is life. But the experience of life can only happen in here. So when you really understand that, then you can begin to pay attention more and more to in here, so that whatever is out there, you observe and you take it in and feel it and go, that's good. That's a lovely reflection. I like that experience. It shows me that my mindset was at a high vibrational frequency at the time that I made that choice. And if it doesn't feel good, well, definitely don't keep doing it. Stop and go, let me just sit in a peaceful place. Let me make a decision as to how I want to feel. And then let's make the decision as to what would I need to be doing or experiencing to have that feeling and go down that path. It's not really rocket science, but we're so quick to react and to be out there and doing and jumping out of bed and what Slow down, take it easy. Okay. Oh, look, and then I've often been told, yes, but you don't have 3 children and they're all going to, well, I did have. They're now all grown up and have their own children. And I definitely wasn't as calm as I am today. And I certainly am. It's easier when you don't have a horde of other people wanting things from you. But I always believe that no matter what the circumstances, you can find a place, and you must find a place, and you've got to make that important. It's only because we make everything else more important than ourselves. So if a lot of people are wanting you to do this and that and that, just say, stop, everybody, stop. I will get to you after I've got to me. Now, if you teach that to your family, in the beginning they might look a bit strange, but the more that you are content, the more that you are able to be balanced, the more you can give. The more frazzled you get trying to please everybody around you, the less of you there is. And when you actually make those who are demanding of you aware of that, and you say, you know what? The more time you give for me to feel good, the more time I'll have for you to feel good. So, choose. We have to teach others. We have to teach people to slow down, to stop going, gimme, 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 gimme. Whatever it is that you want, give it to you. Stop. Stop asking for the outside world to give to you. The outside world gives to you automatically when you give to you. When you love and honor and respect you, then love, honor, and respect starts to exude energetically from you to the world outside of you, and the world outside of you starts to reflect that back to you. I certainly learned that this Christmas, as I have been really spoiled by so many, and unexpectedly from areas and from places and people I had no idea. And so when someone who has been a friend of mine for a very, very long time and who has not been on this spiritual journey gives me a gift like that beautiful heart that you see hanging there, which is a new addition in my life, it says volumes. It says, I see you and I appreciate you and I'm grateful for you in my life. No words have to be said, and I treasure that. So the more of you that feels good, the more of you of that goodness you spread around, and it always comes back to you. I just would love you to take some time in the next few days to just sit with you and ask you, what are my needs? To feel fulfilled, to feel at peace, to feel content. And then, without thinking that it's only possible if I get this, it's only if I have the right relationship, then I can feel. If only I've got the right house to live in, then I can feel. If only I have the right amount of money, then I can feel. If that's what you're thinking, you're on the wrong tram. It's never going to happen because your focus is on not having. But when you bring all of that and you think about whatever it is that you ask for in the physical, ask yourself, what feelings will I have when I have that? And then think of some way of creating those feelings without having what you think that external thing is going to give you. And the more that you feel the feelings, the more the external form will be drawn into your consciousness. It's a magical world. When you slow down long enough and you open your eyes and you open your heart and you open your mind, it's a magical world. Oh, and when you stop listening to the news and all the dramas of the rest of the world. There's enough dramas just around the corner if you want to play with it. I've let go of drama, unless it's actually visiting right in front of my nose, or if I'm paying for it when I go to the theatre. I love it then. But in my life, no. And I definitely don't need dramas of people who are not in my immediate awareness. I love all of humanity. I have compassion for all of humanity. But as a human being, I know that the greatest influence that I can have and the greatest good that I can do whilst I'm living this lifetime is to become the best of me and to share that generously. And that is what I focus on every day of my life. And I'm sharing it with you today. So let's just make 2018 the best year. I will be doing a YouTube recording on the 1st of January. I will certainly look at that and see if I can actually have it posted on that day. So we will do some work on that. And but in the meantime, reflect on 2017 with gratitude and with some serious reflection and some choices to make 2018 the year of growth and beauty and love and kindness and expansion. So let's just pick up one card today for soul wisdom and just see what the message is for this particular week. The Christmas week. Well, you know, the keepers of the light all want to talk at once, so but we don't have the time for that, and I really do want, and I see that I have been discoursing for a while, and I shall ask, come on, can we have just one card? Oops, there. Now I believe that we had this card last week, and I've got two. We had this card, and I do apologize, this is going on longer than I intended, but before I started, I actually did have a look at the cards, and the same card that came last week, if you remember, Horus, the energy of the cosmic gateway, and your thoughts are magnetic and powerful, miraculous changes are occurring. And again, it comes out, so I can't ignore that. So please remember, your thoughts are magnetic and powerful. That is what we've been talking about. And miraculous changes are occurring all the time. And whatever those changes are, they are going to be whatever your mindset is, okay? And it's not the changes that are occurring that are important, it's who you are in respect to those changes. And then the second one, which I love and I give to you with all the love and the gratitude of life, and that is Lord Ganesha. I love Ganesha. Infinite abundance. Yes, shall we have it? Obstacles are being removed. Okay. Spiritual support and connections are increasing, and I do believe that in 2018 we've had some difficult and quite challenging and tough years since 2012, when there was a big shift energetically, and in the last 5 years it has been you know, at times an uphill struggle, and also it's been challenging to stay balanced and to stay connected. But I believe that we are going to have some major energy shifts, and this is really telling us infinite abundance. I generously share that with you. Obstacles are being removed, spiritual support and connections are increasing. What a wonderful way to complete the last reading or discourse, or whatever we've called this connection that we're having. Isn't that a wonderful way to complete and to get ready for what's ahead? If you like some of the work and some of the things that I talk about, all of the links are below to connect with me. You can join my retreats in Bali. The next one's the 10th of May, and I will have to close the bookings by the first week of January. There are a couple of places possible. We are actually booked, but I have kept it a bit flexible at the end, and if there's a couple of people that still want to join us, let me know really quickly. Send me an email. My email address is below, and that is just a wonderful experience of 7 days of doing nothing but connecting to you, and to get some healing, and to do meditation, and to just be at peace, and it's a wonderful experience. Anyway, as well as that, of course, I do private empowerment sessions, and you can book that with me on Skype, or if you live in the area, of course, locally, and all details are below. You can visit my website and any other things that I provide, like the Spiritual Book Club. Then you will find the links below. And I want to give you all my love and gratitude for spending some time with me, and make the last few days of 2017 really powerful for you, and get ready for a fantastic 2018. And I shall see you on the 1st of January 2018. I love you. Love yourself more, and share it. Have a great week.